Hey, my name is Gala. I continue to talk about data blending in Google Data Studio. You can find below the video links to the previous parts of this story, and now I would like to talk about some tips and tricks about blended data. We already talked that we have Google Ads and Facebook Ads data. We already observed different types of joins, and now I would like to put your attention here. We have null in data and null on null. We have nulls on costs, and if we build a chart on this data, we have null here. So we have 9, 6, 4, 5, and null, and we have cost split by Google and Facebook, but we cannot see here the total cost, total ads cost. To see that, I will copy this table. And oh my god, why it is so slow? Sorry. Okay, I copied full join table, and I will copy chart. I copied our chart, and I think I need to refresh the page. Let's wait a bit. Okay, I selected something. Where did I select it? 5 of August, on which chart I did this selection? Here. Okay. No, it is not. Still not fine. Yeah, I didn't want, but I filter some data, and that is why it works slow. Okay, finally we got it. So I copied chart and the full join table. Now I click to the table, and I would like to add additional dimension. I will create a field. I will call it a date, and I will use a formula: if null, Google date, and if null result, take Facebook date, and apply. Let's check. Yoo-hoo! You see, on Facebook date we have null, and here we have Google, and on Google date we have null here, but in the table we have 7. So that's what we need. Now we can remove these 2 dimensions, and we will copy this formula and apply this formula for charts as well. I click to the chart, dimension here Google date, I click here, create a field, I will call it date, and paste here the formula and click to apply. Click to apply, and here we are. As you can see, now we have all dates, and doesn't matter is it null or not for Google date or Facebook dates. It is here we have all dates. So we fix it one moment, and I would like to fix it this one more. How can we do it? First of all, I can add one metric, like create a field, and total cost. We'll call it total cost. And we can think that we can just summarize Google and Facebook data. Let's see what we will have here. Invalid formula. Oh my god. Yeah, true. I want to add it to the table, sorry. I select table, here add metric, total cost, and here I can do cost Google plus cost Facebook. Apply. Oh my god, why it is like that? I don't want to apply it here, I want to apply it to the table. Okay, add one more time, total cost, cost Google, cost Facebook, apply. Oh, finally. Okay, let's check what we have here. And here it is an interesting moment, because if you can see here 36 for 9 of August, we have 36 euro, but if we see here null in Google or in Facebook cost, in total we will have null. It means that null, it is not the same as a 0, so we need to avoid, we need to change null to 0. And here I have two options actually how to do it here. Let's, for example, let's use this one. We can create a new field. Let's call it just cost. And here I will use the formula case when cost Google is null, then 0, else cost Google end. What does it mean? If Google cost is null, then use 0, then apply 0. If it is not, let's use Google cost. Then I will do like summary, sum of this amount, then I copy this formula and I apply the same formula for Facebook, plus, and copy and change this cost for Facebook cost. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't work. Okay, doesn't matter, we can just copy and paste it here. And I will change tab from number to currency. Okay, apply and apply. And in this case, when we change null to 0, we have, voila, we have the correct data here. And here, like, we have Google cost 36, but Facebook is null. But in this case, when we change null to 0, we have already 36. And we can calculate the summary for this metric, summary cost. Okay, we can remove this field and keep only free these fields. And we can add the same total cost to chart as well. It is, we can do it using the same. We select chart, add metric, create a field, total cost, number, change to currency, and apply. I think this is not a good idea, because you can see that total cost cannot be summarized with others. So I prefer to change type of chart from this to this one, to stacked combo chart. Then series number 1, it will tab, it will be bar, series number 2 it will be bar as well, and series number 3 will be line. Yeah. And one more detail here, I would like to do ascending. There is it, here we are. So we could add, we could change null to dates here. We could change null to 0 for metrics, and calculate summary total cost for our blended data. And if we need, we can use this metric for charts as well. So also we can use the same metric for filter, but I think now you will feel free here. And I would like to talk a bit about differences between data sources and blends and blended data sources, because they're really similar, but they're a bit different. And I would like to talk here about some moments, like if data source depends on only one data source, so blends depend on all data sources that you use for this blend. It means if you have some troubles with, for example, Google data, you will have this chart broken and you will need to figure it out which data source is broken here. And when you copy report, you have to create blends in the new report. You can, for example, if you go to data sources, you can click here, make reusable, and use the same data source in another report. For blends, you cannot do it, so you have to create the blends in the new report again. Or you just copy this report, and in this case, it will work. And next point, it is credentials. For example, I used Google Sheets connector. So I have my Google Analytics or Google account, Google Gmail account that I used for these Google Sheets. And if user wants to use my blends, this user should have credentials, should have login and password for my account. And one more moment. If we click to data sources and click to edit, you can see here that data freshness every 15 minutes. You can change it for every hour, 12 or 4 hours, and it means that your blended data will update when your original data source updates. So that is it. I think that is everything what I want to tell you today. Hope you liked my video and all this data blending tutorial. It took more time than I expected, but hope I answered for all questions that you could have. Please feel free to leave comments and subscribe to my channel and like this video if you really like it. If you don't really like it, you can do like as well. Maybe. Okay, hope you like it. We'll be happy to get any feedback and see you soon. Bye bye.